Good morning, everybody. Hey now! Gold Standard Radio Network here for, live early on February the 24th, 2026 from a light as springtime gets closer. 6:50 a.m. now is 100% light as the sun is about to rise, but it is very cold here again in southern Ontario as it is still winter time, late winter, but winter nonetheless, as it's minus 13 C, which is about 10 Fahrenheit, right around there. So it's very cold this morning. It had gotten slightly warmer the last 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 days, and now we're back into the deep freeze here for a few days. But if we take a look at the coins, and some of the coins I wanted to look at this morning to start off with was what some of the audience was asking. Chainlink was one of them. And Chainlink, I mean, if you've been following me for a while, you know what's about to come here, okay? Chainlink, the fucking Chainlink. To me, Chainlink, I don't know, well, I do know why. The reason why everybody, you can go find any crypto channel besides this one, because I'm the one that is anti-crypto for the most part, as far as most people's eyes, and that's why we only have 2,000 people on here. But Chainlink is another one that came out during his infancy, was near the biggest bull market at the time in crypto history, and there were paid promoters to promote the shit out of this thing across social media. All the big YouTube crypto people of the time, a lot of them are still there. Most of them had credibility hits, but it's the internet, so people forget about it and don't care. Even after they've been scammed, they'll still follow, right? The people don't care. But this was a heavily promoted one. And it got the retail trader and these YouTube people with large audiences. And this is another truth that nobody wants to say, but the gold standard really doesn't care. This coin got hyped up and strategically put out right before a massive bull market. And the YouTube subscribers and the YouTube channels, that had 100,000 people, 300,000 people, 1 million followers, they were paid via Chainlink tokens and money to talk about this coin, to build up hysteria, to build up momentum, to build up retail hype, to get you guys to FOMO in on the ICO, initial coin offering, right? The fucking ICO. And they got you to buy the top. And as soon as they were done selling all the coins that they were given, because 99% of the fucking coins that were created were given to the promoters and the people that created it. And how do you think they get rich? They sell it to fucking you, right? That's how they get rich. And what they do, they sold it to you. And as soon as they got done selling, the fucking thing collapsed. Just like a Haktua girl and the fucking Haktua coin. People bought that shit. Why? Marketing. People liked Haktua girl. So she said, buy this piece of shit. Without saying buy this piece of shit, but she promoted it, talked about it, and the fucking people bought it, and the thing went down the shitter, like, because it's junk, right? And that's essentially what this fucking thing is, right? Say you bought this thing in 2021 or 2020, you're down. You've been getting your ass handed to you for 5 years, 4 years, right? And this thing, I think, is going, you can see where we had targets back when we used to talk about this. We have all this shit on the chart, right? We used to talk about it when it was there, telling you it was a head and shoulders. And then we had your targeted move there at 6:54 a.m. So I don't think this thing's worth a shit. If you want to buy it, buy it. But I think this is just another fleece coin. It's my own personal opinion, right? Just like everything I just said is my own personal opinion about everything, right? So I'm not a financial advisor. I don't know anything about paid promoters. It's just what I see and what I feel and what it looks like to me and some of the ones that have been proven to do it. So I don't know anything about that. I wouldn't buy that. The same thing with IOTA. I think this is a piece of shit too. I mean, it's down 99% from when it came out. The only thing it does is have brief pumps from severe lows, like when it just went down 99% from there. Then it has a pump. Then it goes down 99%, then a little pump, down 99%, a pump. Then it goes down 99% again. Then it'll have a little pump. This thing's going to zero. It's just sucking your liquidity out, right? The people that created this token got rich. This thing is garbage. I don't know how else to say this to you. Same with IOTA and Luna Classic I had in here. Like, what the fuck, people? Join Jabroni Killers and you will sidestep all this nonsense. And if you want to buy the coins, the gold standard will give, I guess, gold standard approved coins that if you want to take a flyer on these, which I wouldn't really recommend putting any more than 5% of your net worth in any of this shit. But I got my coins that I would say are the best of the shit, right? Because Bitcoin, you're not going to make 100x on Bitcoin anymore. You're not turning 1,000 into 10 million in Bitcoin. It's not going to happen, right? It's not going to happen. Those days are long. Those days are gone a decade ago, right? But the XRP, you could see we had another down day. Bitcoin's threatening to go below 60,000. XRP now and all these coins have had major moves for the areas that they were at. You can see the XRP in the daily time frame. We're going to do this very quickly as I'm almost to work now at 6:56 a.m. as I was filibustering too long. You can see we had a big move now after we were stagnating near that 200-day in the weekly after that fake pump to about $1.70 that got some hysteria going. Now we've given back most of that. We're below the $1.41. We're threatening to slip very, very quickly like that down to $1.12, $1.11, the wick low. And then eventually, I don't know what happened to my lines that were down there. I had a line there. At 80, we'll come straight down to 89 cents. Immediately down there, right? And then eventually, I think we're coming into this blue support and resistance box. There's going to be a lot of trading in between now and then, but there's a big fall potential that could come here in the short term. And I've been warning you on this. Same thing with XLM. You can see we got rejected. We're almost back down to that 14.5 cents, the area that we wicked off of. That brought us to the short-term reversal up to 18 cents, a technical level, only to get rejected by it, which is what you would expect. And now we're coming back down to an area we just wicked off of. So you'd expect some brief trading and then break that. And then your next move in XLM is actually down to about 12 cents. It's a pretty big fall. And then eventually, I think we're going down to potentially 7 cents in the XLM price. And I think that's a very fair analysis on what's going on there. And we've been consistent for 12 or 13 months on this. You can see we're almost back down and touching the top part of that blue trading box at 18.12.27. If we can't hold that and bounce, which I wouldn't expect a big bounce this time because we had the wick bounce, but if we don't get that big bounce, you're going to knife through this. And before you know it, in the blink of an eye, you're going to wake up and you're sitting at $1,038. And then you'll probably have a significant bounce from there, at least short term, and then potentially $495. Bitcoin dominance, I think, is going to bounce off that 58.5% level. The Bitcoin price now is, I think, about to knife down to 51,000. And these Grant Cardones, these micro strategies, and these facilitating shysters that I think, in my own personal opinion, have been money laundering, have been stealing investors' money. If you read their contracts, like a Grant Cardone, he can borrow 80%. Yeah, 80 fucking percent, and do whatever he wants with it of the investor money. He can defer the dividend payments all the way to the back end to when he sells the property, to where now the person that invested, say, $100,000, they think they're going to get all their money back with interest, and they only get 20 grand because of all the deferred fees and all this nonsense that he's got written in, which nobody reads the fine print when they give him money. They just see, oh, I'm getting 5% or 7% a year, and I gave him 100 grand. Yeah, 7% a year.